Hey everyone. So I just wanted to come on and address the current climate with the whole Muzz situation. And it's really sad that I have to even say the word Muzz because we are facing things like hate speech and hate crime, and potentially in a climate where it's possible for us to lose our rights. I mean, we've already been censored massively on social media in the last 6 years. I being one of them very heavily, and have dealt with all of that. I mean, it's still happening on TikTok. It's still happening on different channels, and information control, disinformation, all that. And I just want to address this because to me, it's pretty clear that most people aren't concerned with skin color. Most people aren't concerned with what race you are, or like what your religion is, or what your like what your God is, like what you do behind closed doors with God. People don't really care. But when it starts bleeding into our communities, and when it starts bleeding into our communities in an aggressive way, that's a problem. So let's just address this first and foremost. I don't care like what your religion is. I don't care what your race is. I don't care. I mean, I do care if it harms people and hurts someone, but nobody really cares about this kind of stuff. The only people that care are the people that are brainwashed from TV and the people that are brainwashed from politicians. You listen to morons like Abdul El Sayed, who is incredibly manipulative, very smooth talker, very articulate, knows exactly how to run the crowd. Oh man, that guy is so charismatic. He genuinely is a like political stud, so to speak, and just very good at hoodwinking the masses. So I just posted this video of him speaking at a 2018, some 2018 event or whatever, and he blatantly said straight out, "You may like Muzz, but Muzz doesn't like you." Like, he said it very clearly. And like, listen to people when they tell you who they are, when they slip like that and tell you who they are. Are all the Muzz community like that? No. And like, that's what's so stupid, is that people can't understand that there are two things can be true at the same time. So when I come out and I'm calling BS on a politician and BS on policies that are manipulative and socialism, wrapped up in a crap burrito getting served to us that's going to lead us down a river of enslavement, and people want to call me hateful because I'm calling out corruption in the current climate. Like, it has nothing to do with race. And it's funny because this Abdul guy, he was talking, but he was like, oh yeah, when I was a little kid, it's always these sob stories, like, oh, when I was a little kid and I got made fun of because my name was Abdul, and there was a lot of racism and blah, blah, blah. And, and then later in the speech, he was like, oh, well, he clearly hasn't healed from wounds from childhood yet. He's like, if you can see that, you can see that. But people who haven't healed from their childhood wounds are not gonna see the forest for the trees, or the trees for the forest, whatever. They're not gonna see the big picture. They're just gonna be like, yeah, don't be mean to him just because his name is Abdul. Like, nobody cares what your name is, dude. And I mean, everybody gets bullied. Everybody gets bullied in elementary school. It doesn't matter what skin color you are. I was bullied because I was like, I wasn't even that thick when I was in elementary school. I was pretty normal sized, but I still got bullied. Like, I still was called fat and had all kinds of like nasty names when I was a little kid. And so does a lot of people that I know. And I had someone comment on my TikTok that made like a really valid point. Like, hey, when I was in elementary school, people were calling me, it was something weird. It was like Dick Mar. Like, a bunch of people were calling me Dick Mar, but I didn't go around crying racism. And it's like, exactly. Like there's people of every color and every race that have been made fun of in elementary school. And we didn't call it racism. We just called it bullying as kids. We all got bullied. Like, get over it. Like, you're an adult. You put your big boy pants on. But when politicians use this kind of rhetoric, this identity politics, where they're just going to pull on your emotional strings and try to make it look like anybody that goes against what they're saying is racist or an Islamophobe or a bigot, and is hateful, because they don't want you to see what they're doing right in front of your face. Nobody cares what happened to you when you were in elementary school. That has nothing to do with what's going on in the current climate and how you're going to run a country. If you're going to be butthurt over stupid things like that, then what are you going to do when you get butthurt as, in the Senate? How are you going to project that pain onto the collective? This guy is so skeezy, and everybody's just so caught up in the whole, all the stories like, oh, he's just a, small town boy born and raised in South Detroit, just like all these, oh, he's a hometown guy and he's from other countries and don't be prejudiced and don't be a bigot. And he's just because he's from another culture. And it's like, no, bro, that's not why we're upset. Like Dearborn has literally turned into Afghanistan, dude. Like you can't even walk in there without feeling like a minority. That is not assimilation. That is not the American way. It is not the American way to walk through a city in your own country and be a minority. And also to like not look the same way. Technically, we don't care what people wear, but when there's an oppression behind it, when little kids and women are forced to wear burqas or hide their hair and skin and legs, like you gotta question that. That's not very American, okay? We express ourselves as Americans. Men and women are treated equally and have equal opportunity. Children are not abused, and that's abusive. That's abusive to force kids to wear stuff like that. The amount of oppression that's in the Islamic community is just endless. Like it's endless. Do your research. Read the Quran. They worship a prophet that's a pedophile. So does that mean that every person that's in the Muslim community is a bad person and is a terrorist? No, of course not. I had friends who were Muslims growing up, and I have a good friend actually that's an ex-Muslim that's a Christian now, and he has a platform. His name is Zion, and he talks about all this stuff because he lives in the UK, and they're going through like a much worse version of it because the police are now involved, and the police are pushing Sharia law onto some citizens, and people are getting in trouble for things like hate speech, and we're on a really slippery slope. Like we're literally on the verge of communism and socialism, and we're in a rough spot too, because people are like, oh, I'm a socialist, I'm for socialism. And they'll straight out just come out and say it. It's like, oh my God, she said the quiet part out loud. Like I'm all for oppression. I'm all for the government giving us free stuff. And then we won't actually own anything, but then we'll just have to have everything be controlled for us, like our healthcare and our economy and our grocery stores. Like, I mean, are you guys completely dense and blind and deaf and dumb? And I know that you are, because you wouldn't be thinking that if you were not deaf, dumb, and blind. But it's really frustrating. It's really frustrating, and it can be overwhelming, because you look around and you're just like, oh my God, like what's happening to our country? These people, they're pushing prayer calls, like loud prayer calls, like at 5 a.m. in some areas in New York, or, in the different areas where they have like these mosques and whatnot. They don't respect that they live in America. They don't respect our ways, our culture. They don't like dogs. I've seen videos of people like kicking dogs in parks. Like people are just like walking their dogs, and someone will come up and like slap their dog a couple times. And then if you like say anything to the police, like the person with the dog gets in trouble, not the person that slapped the dog. I've seen people go to court for speaking out against African migrants and just saying that it's a racist thing, like you're racist against Africans because you're speaking out that they're the ones that are going around raping women and children on the streets in broad daylight. What is going on in our country right now is really scary, because we have a political movement that's in the guise of a religion. That politicians will call it a religion. It's not a religion. It's a political movement, and their political movement is to take over. And if you read what the Quran states and you read what they believe, you'll read what their intentions are. And it's a death cult. Like if you're not a believer and you don't follow their rules and you don't do what they want to do, and when you're a woman, you have all these things that you have to follow. I mean, it's Sharia law.
Word, and with a decree of yours, you will annihilate them. Ya Rahman Rahimin, you annihilated. And you destroyed the likes of Ad and Thamud and Fir'aun. These are the Fir'auns and the Ad and Thamud of today. Ya Rahman Rahimin, we ask you, Ya Allah, destroy them. Destroy them, Allah. Take them off the surface of this earth. Ya Rahman Rahimin, Ya Akram al-Akramin.
على القوم الكافرين اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين اللهم انصر عبادك الموحدين اللهم انصرهم على القوم المجرم أحصهم عددا اللهم اقتلهم بددا ولا تغادر منهم
اللهم يا ربنا إنهم يجاهدون في سبيلك اللهم إنهم يجاهدون في سبيلك اللهم انصرهم يا رب العالمين اللهم انصرهم على أعدائهم يا رب العالمين اللهم عليك باليهود اللهم عليك باليهود وأعوانهم فإنهم لا يعجزونك اللهم احصهم عددا اللهم احصهم عددا واقتلهم بددا ولا تغادر منهم أحدا يا رب العالمين
عليك بالصليبيين اللهم عليك بهم فإنهم لا يعجزونك عليهم يا رب العالمين اللهم نصرك الذي وعدت على القوم الكافرين
Allahumma destroy all the enemies of Islam. Allahumma destroy all the enemies of Islam. May Allah destroy them completely and show in us the great signs of Allah in their utter destruction, annihilation, humiliation.
عليك بالأمريكان ومن والاهم اللهم أحصهم عددا واقتلهم بددا ولا تغادر منهم أحدا
يا رب اللهم اقتلهم بددا اللهم احصهم عددا واقتلهم بددا ولا تغادر منهم أحدا يا رب.
It's retarded that we're living in times where I have to sit here and get called like racist and bigot and fascist because I don't want to lose my country, because I'm treated as though I'm a bad person because I'm white, that I'm privileged because I'm white. We're facing these politicians that are saying things like defund the police, and they want to bring in more and more people from their country, and they want to build up Islam. And Islam is not a religion, it's a political movement. That's what politicians want you to think, that it's just a religion. And then if you speak against it, then you're speaking against someone's religion, and they pull the race card and all the stuff that makes zero sense. And you look at places like Dearborn, and you'll see that the mayor is Muzz. There's people in the police force that are, because this has been a community that's been growing over the last couple of decades, and they have like 4 or 5 kids per male. And so now it's just overflowing with the Muzz community, but they're not assimilating to the American way. They're not wanting to be Americans. They want to be the Muzz community and then turn Michigan into the Muzz community and the Islamic force, where Allah will be in every household and we will all bow down to Sharia law, and men will have control over women, and women will have restrictions, and we won't allow to have our dogs out near mosques, and we won't be able to have alcohol sold in certain areas, or eat bacon, or we have to be modest at beaches because we're women. I mean, I've seen some of the craziest posts coming out of this community talking about how Americans really need to start getting serious about respecting the Muzz community, because we're not doing what they want us to do. And I mean, they tried to take our guns away. They literally tried to take our guns away. The left has. There's been a movement to take our guns away, restrict us from everything. You know, they're trying to make it so all we're doing is worrying about money and working nonstop 9 to 5, so we can't ever fight back or push back. And it's BS. And it's so annoying to see like people like, you know, charismatic people like that just know how to talk and sweet talk and say all the right things and have all the catchphrases and play victim when they're the ones pushing an aggressive ideology on the masses. I have so much content on my page that like calls it out, but if you know me, you know what my heart is, and you know what kind of person I am. I went to a liberal arts school. Hello? Like, it doesn't get any more diverse than that. I went to Interlochen Arts Academy, where people were gay before gay was like a thing. And just like, you were exposed to pretty much everything there. You know, nobody cares about skin color. That's the thing. Like, the only people that are worried about racism are politicians and people pushing a certain ideology on the masses. It's so annoying and retarded. It's like the biggest game in the playbook. And anyway, it's just stupid. You know, I had someone from my junior high like come on my page and was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sick of the hate. Like, I just can't take your I can't take your posts anymore." And it's like, bro, get a grip. I'm so over being a woman in this country and feeling like there are hardly any men standing up. And really, the only thing that's getting me through all of this is Jesus, because I know the Bible. I know what the Bible states. I know what is being prophesied over now, which is like end times. All the signs are here. I know that Jesus will protect his sheep, and I know that, you know, evil will not win in the end. But what we're going through right now is total BS, and nobody knows how far it's going to go, and nobody knows what's going to happen with it. And we might get to a point where we actually have to fight our own government. Our government is not for us. It doesn't matter what side you're voting for. It's a uniparty. There might be some people that are genuine and have good intentions, and they get in there and maybe they do make some change, but something always happens. Like, they get blackmailed, or they get bought out, or they get pushed out, or something always gets thwarted. It's just sad to see what's going on in the world. It's really sad to see what's going on in my home state, because we're like one of the leading states for Afghanistan, basically. A United States turning into Afghanistan and promoting stuff like what's going on in Dearborn, Michigan. I've literally seen the mayor scream at a citizen of Dearborn who was saying like, "Hey, we don't want a street named after a terrorist."
Hey, Dearborn, are you serious with this dude? Like, can someone please tell me who this guy thinks he is?
The mayor of Dearborn, Michigan, wants a white resident to move out after voicing concerns about a road being named in honor of Osama Siblani, a journalist who has voiced sympathy for, get this, terrorist groups Hamas and Hezbollah. Watch this.
Hezbollah, bombed the embassy in Beirut, and including many Americans. So I just feel that's quite inappropriate.
You are an Islamophobe, and although you live here, I want you to know, as mayor, you are not welcome here. And the day you move out of the city will be the day that I launch a parade celebrating the fact that you moved out of the city.
He's going to launch a parade when a white man moves out of Dearborn, Michigan. That is because the man who is speaking there is Ted Barham. He's a Christian resident in Dearborn, Michigan, which is now majority Muslim. And the sitting mayor, who's supposed to care about all of his constituents, not just the Muslim ones, clearly doesn't care. He clearly wants this to be a full majority, I would say. And the stance of the mayor is that if you don't support honoring a terror sympathizer, then you shouldn't even live in Dearborn, Michigan. Now, I am not anti-immigration by any means, but I am anti-immigration without assimilation. Because if these people want Americans to bend to their cultural standards, they need to remember what country they are in. This isn't a takeover. Immigration isn't supposed to be a takeover. They're supposed to want to come here and live here, uphold American ideals and values. This is not the American way. We are anti-terrorism, and that shouldn't be a contrast.
We're in trouble. United States, we're in trouble. We're in some deep waters. The only one that can really take us out of this is Jesus. Jesus is the only way, understanding what that means and what that looks like, and turning to Christ, because Jesus is the truth, the way, and the life. He's the only one that can get us out of it. And that's the only hope that I have. I know that no matter what, my Father always fights for me and will always protect me and make sure that I'm taken care of no matter what happens. But to watch people just sell us out down the river and into socialism. I mean, we are like the strongest country in the world. We are one of the richest countries in the world, and we have all these privileges, and we have all this beautiful land and all of this freedom. We have the American way. We can do whatever we want here. People come here to make their dreams come true. And then you have all these people that hate America that have come here, and they've convinced some Americans, the left, to hate America and to now sell us out. But the thing is that people are voting. There are some red states that are having people be put in like really powerful positions, like judges and whatnot, that are also in the Muslim community. Like I believe there was if you go on the CAIR site, the CAIR, where it shows like how many Mus were voted into certain arenas. I think there was 132 people that were candidates, and 89 of them were picked. So it wasn't just Abdul El Sayed. He's just like one of the many. And like, people don't understand what you're inviting into our own country. If you don't know what this like ideology is all about, are you really okay with having a forced religion on you and having to worship Allah and to give up your dogs and give up bacon and alcohol and make women dress up in hijab and all this like Sharia law crap, and having like their own police units? That's why they want to defund the police, so they can make their own police units. Like, people are retarded. People would rather get emotional and believe a politician over their neighbors, like over all of the people that are in this world that like care about each other. Like, we all want like a good future for each other. We all want to like thrive. We all want to make money and to just have freedom and do what we want to do and like travel and not worry about things and not have restrictions. And if you let Sharia law and all these ideologies come over from the Middle East that are really abusive, and it's basically a death cult, and the radical ones are really not, I mean, say goodbye to life as we know it. When this stuff starts taking over, and it's already happened in several cities. Look at New York City. I mean, we had 9/11 in New York City, and now we have Mamdani as the mayor of New York City, and holy crap, just I can't even believe we're here, and people like AOC's running around with, the get up and the gear on. It's just, we're in crazy town, like absolute batshit crazy town. Anyway, pray over your families, pray God's word, ask Jesus to reveal himself to you. He will protect us from this. He will protect you, but it's important to know who your God is, because if you don't know who your God is, then you're going to be looking to other things as your God, kind of like Allah and Allah Akbar and the Muslim community and their God, Almighty Creator, Allah, Inshallah. And that's what all these people preach. And this is not the same God, bro. It's not the same God. Like, you're literally turning us over to Satan. You're literally just handing us over to Satan. So anyway, peace out.
Let's talk about our favorite flags.
Oh, like overall, what my favorite flag?
Yeah.
Hezbollah. Look it up.
Oh.
I'm not even kidding. It's actually a dope flag.
I don't know flags.
It's this is a.
You know what? I'm gonna be brave.
What?
My favorite flag.
It's got an AK on it and a fucking hand holding it up.
Wow, son.
Or
we might have to cut this.
We're behind the paywall. It's fine.
At least we're finally being honest about it. Oh, the irony to say that while sitting at a table with an LGBTQ pride flag is literally insane. In 2023, Hassan Nasrallah released a statement, who is the leader of Hezbollah. So in case you're wondering where Hezbollah stands on this, Hezbollah released a statement publicly calling for the death of gays under Islamic law. Anyone who partakes in same-sex acts, they urged confrontation by all means necessary. Hezbollah's parliament group said it, and I quote, rejected any tolerance of promoters of sexual perversion, pornography, and homosexuality in Lebanon because of the danger they represent to society. And then again, the Secretary General of Hezbollah attacked the LGBTQ plus community and the attempt to modify our culture led by the West. The very influential culture of homosexuality comes from the United States, he said. It's not just demonic, it has real effects. So Hezbollah leadership has explicitly endorsed the death penalty for being gay under their interpretation of Islamic law, of Sharia. But then regardless of that, if that's not enough reason for you to, not like Hezbollah, not want to be ruled by Hezbollah, they're a little terror group. They're a terror group. And Hassan Piker is supporting them. And then we have people like Memdani and Abdul Sayed and Ilhan Omar and AOC and all these Democrats embracing Hassan Piker. And Hassan Piker says this from the protection and safety and comfort of America. Hassan Piker is being protected. The only reason he has the freedom to say that is because he is being protected by actual real men in our military that he openly roots against. It is so privileged. It's so wrong. So they're inviting them in. They're saying, oh, come on, open the door so long as you vote for us, to kill the very people he's sitting with. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. And he knows it too. The Democrats, they know it. They're hoping that the voter base stays too stupid to know it. It's really, really evil stuff, you guys.